Alright guys, we have an exciting video today. These are my favorite types who get to talk about new stuff. So this is going to be a video where we talk about the new design of the Saber. As everyone knows, we're redoing the Saber. It's out of stock now. We killed off the original and we have a new design in the works. So today I'm going to go over the first version of that prototype. We're going to talk kind of about how the head works, the new features on it, and then we'll go into where the project goes from here. But before we talk about the new Saber, let's talk about the original Saber. We released this razor in 2017 or 2018. And the main thing that it solved was making a 3-piece gem razor with the blade perfectly centered over the handle for a compact head and good shaving characteristics. There are other 3-piece gem razors that have the blade situated really far forward, and I just hate the way those balance, and I think it gives poor performance. And so the big innovation with the Saber was this post that you're now all very familiar with on both the Vector and the Saber. This narrow post allows us to have a regular 3-piece razor, just like with the DE blade, that the gem blade just slides over the top of. That's turned out to be incredibly robust and a huge success. And when we first unveiled the Saber back in 2017, it had one base plate called level 1, or actually it wasn't called level 1 at the time. It wound up being level 1 because people found it to be too mild. Now the goal of the original Saber was to be mild. It was to be kind of the opposite of the Blackbird, which is very efficient and blade forward. We wanted something that's smooth shaving, easy to use, really user friendly, and mild. And we gave people that, but they wanted a bit more efficiency, so we came out with level 2, and the original base plate became level 1. The Saber also came with this handle, which is pretty cool. At the time, heavy razors were very popular, and things were built like a tank, and so this razor definitely fit the bill. And it's been an incredible workhorse for us for the last 6 years or so. But last year I decided that it's time to go back to the drawing board and come out with a new version of the Saber. Times have changed. I've grown as a designer, we've grown as a company, and there are parts of this razor that I wanted to improve. That's not to say it's a bad razor. It's actually been, phenomenal, and it's been actually pretty difficult to improve upon, although I think we have. Some of the things that I don't like from a straight design perspective, I think that this profile is just a little boring. It's basically just some rectangles. And again, simple, effective, but to me, not very artful. And this as well, these flats that kind of go right into this curved, contoured area, I find a little clunky. It's not that it's bad. It's just, to my eye, a little amateurish almost. And the top cap actually, I think is just pretty great. And so you'll note that we didn't change a whole lot as we go to the new Saber. And there's a reason for that. This top cap is just really good. It's reliable, it's pretty good looking. There are some changes we made, but overall, I still like it. And today we're going to focus on the head, so I'm not going to get too much into the handle, but the overall changes we wanted to make to the Saber was to make it lighter, slimmer, a bit more modern in that way, more maneuverable, and just overall a bit sleeker. We also wanted to make it more versatile. Frankly, it's annoying having a bunch of different base plates so that everyone can get the shave they want. They don't know if they want level 1 or level 2. People are always asking for level 3. And we wanted to eliminate that. So with that, let's get into the new Saber. All right, here's the new Saber's head. Now at first glance, it actually looks pretty similar to the old Saber. It's worth noting this is not a Vector handle. This is not the handle that the new Saber will come with. This is here just because the new handle hasn't been machined yet. We're working on the head and the function, and the handle will come. And the Vector handle does a really good job at kind of just putting the head out there in space, so that's why I have it here. As you can tell, it keeps a lot of the same footprint of the original Saber. I'll do a side-by-side in a second. But it's really making it sleeker, making it a bit sexier, a bit thinner, a bit lighter, and a bit more maneuverable. And that's just the aesthetics. As a comparison, we have the old Saber on a Vector handle as well, just for apples to apples. And you can see that the new Saber on the left is similar because we kept the stuff we loved and we got rid of some stuff we didn't. But you can tell that it's thinner. It is a bit curvier. I think that the shape of it is a bit, to my eye, more pleasing, a bit more like a sports car. And functionally, we kept all the stuff that was great about the original Saber, and honestly just added a bit of elegance and a bit of sophistication to the design, where I think the original is a little elementary. I think the new version takes the great bones, the great footprint of the original, and adds more sophistication and creates a bit more of an artful design. And that's just the aesthetics, but what's really going to impress you guys, I hope, and what this has really been about is the function. So let's take the new Saber apart, and we'll talk about the function, which really all lies in the base plate. So again, the top cap, function, basically the same. Not a whole lot to talk about there. We've basically just changed the profile of it. It's thinner, but the top cap isn't what this is all about. It's all about the base plate. At first glance, it looks a lot like the other base plate. But when we take a deeper look, we see the true function of the Saber. So on the bottom, you can see we have some contouring here. Again, this finish is actually pretty bad. This is the very first functional prototype we've made. This finish is not reflective of where we'll wind up. But you can see that number 1 there. You might be thinking, oh, that's the level 1 base plate. Sort of. But check this out. That's right. We have a removable safety bar. And more than that, it's actually flippable. Level 1 on one side, level 2 on another. The engraving, it didn't quite come out on this one. And we're going to get into how that works in a second, because there's actually 4 levels with every Saber. But let's talk about how it works and why. Actually, let's do that backwards. The why is pretty clear. It's useful to have one thing to sell people that comes in multiple flavors, that has different adjustments, basically turning this into an adjustable razor. We only have to sell one. Our customers don't have to wonder, do I need level 1? Do I need level 2? They're actually buying one razor and getting 4 options. That's right. We have a level 1, level 2 safety bar, and a level 3 and 4 safety bar. Again, the engraving on the 3 didn't come out quite, but we're working on that. But you can see proudly here level 4. So every Saber will come with 4 levels comprising of 2 different safety bars. But let's talk about how it all works, because it's clever. If I do say so myself, you notice here that it stays in there, and that's kind of the cleverness of this design. So let's zoom in for a little bit of a closer look. The key to the new Saber design is in a little bit of metal knowledge and a little bit of clever physics involved, really. Now, the body of the razor is 303 stainless steel, as is most of our razors. And as you know, stainless steel is non-magnetic. Except that's not exactly true. This razor has a 17.4 safety bar. Now, what's interesting about 17.4 is it is magnetic. Now it is not magnetized. There's a difference between the two. Something that's magnetic is attracted to magnets, and something that is magnetized is attracted to other metals, like a magnet. A magnet is magnetized, and your refrigerator door is magnetic. 17.4 is magnetic. And so we took advantage of that by placing a very small neodymium magnet here in the base plate. You can see it at the tip of my finger. It's tiny, but neodymium magnets are incredibly strong. And what we knew we wanted was a flippable base plate, but we didn't want to put a magnet in the safety bar because we'd have to have one on both sides. And when you flipped it around, all of a sudden you'd have the north or south pole respectively, and it would flip to the other, and it would no longer function. And so we decided to choose 17.4 because 17.4 is attracted to this magnet no matter what configuration it's in. And so when you flip it, it's still attracted to that small neodymium magnet. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't really trust a magnet to shave with. And that's okay, because the magnet is just there during assembly. It's there to hold the safety bar in place so that it gives a reassuring feel. And when you tighten down the razor, it's going to cinch down against the base plate body and lock in place so you can't dislodge it during shaving. We're also really concerned with the alignment of the safety bar. Obviously, when the safety bar is removable, it leaves some opening for there to be, wiggle. We certainly wouldn't want the safety bar cantered off to the side like this. And so we put a lot of thought into some of the features here in this base plate that I won't go into too much in detail. But you can see this little post in the back. It's really helpful for alignment. And we kept really tight tolerances. And so flipping the safety bar is a breeze, so we're putting a new one in. And we can pull out level 1. You do this obviously when the razor is disassembled. And then if we want to put level 4 in, for example, we just pop it in. The numbers on the bottom reflect to the shave level that you have set on the top. So when we see level 4 on the bottom, you'll notice that we have this little cover on the top, so you can't see the shave level, so there's no confusion there. And so level 4 is what we're shaving with currently. You might be curious about, well, does it move at all? And it doesn't. This thing is perfectly aligned. We have incredibly tight tolerances, and it's a really foolproof system. Now you might wonder, okay, why do this instead of just having 4 different base plates? And there are a few reasons. One is we don't want to sell you 4 things when we could just sell you 1 and give you 4 things. And the other reason is that, as you can probably guess, the bulk of the machining time and cost is in the body. And so if we can separate the body and the safety bar, which is where all the shaving characteristics come from, if we can separate those out, then we can more easily produce 4 different shave levels. Instead of 4 different bodies, we can just produce 2 different safety bars and have the same body. That makes it just much more cost effective. It makes it more useful. And you guys don't have to buy extra stuff. It's also much simpler than a full-on adjustable mechanism like the Osprey. And it allows us to have this incredibly compact, regular base plate form. There's truly, honestly, there's always some drawbacks, but there's really not very many drawbacks here. Some of the complexities are in making these safety bars and making sure they are straight and perfect. That's kind of tough, but honestly, that's just table stakes. We have to be able to make accurate parts. That's the first look at the new Saber. Next steps, we have some cleaning up to do. The finish on the underside, we're obviously going to improve upon. The engravings need to be much deeper, more robust. We have a little bit of touch-ups to do on the top cap. And we're going to be dialing in the shave levels themselves over the next few days. The handle and stand, which are both very cool, those are in the works, and we'll get those to you for the next update. This won't be quite the series that the Osprey development was. As you can tell, we're pretty much there. We need to do some final finishing work, but the design is pretty well set. So we're just going to be kind of showing you the new Saber in different steps. So today is all about the head. The next video will be handle and kind of the full finished look. Hopefully the stand might be in that one. And then the third and fourth video will be the kind of finished Saber with the stand, handle, fully finished, fully ready for production, and hopefully accepting orders and available. Now, to answer a few questions ahead of time, or maybe more accurately, not answer them, people are going to be curious about cost. It's going to be somewhere north of $200, but certainly less than the Osprey's $350. Our goal is to make as much adjustability for as little as possible, and that's the simplicity of this design. But that price will come. The second question is going to be made in titanium. That is going to depend on machining pricing that we're figuring out right now, and honestly on your feedback to this video. Do you guys like this thing? We don't want to make a whole lot of titanium, and no one cares. So that's a little bit TBD. And the third big question I know you guys are going to ask is when? Well, we are finishing up prototyping in the next couple weeks. By the end of this month, we'll have the fully fleshed out, finished new Saber, and we will enter production. So these should be in production by the beginning of June, and I would certainly hope that we have production finished that month as well, probably well in advance. That means we'll probably do pre-orders in early, possibly mid-June. My expectation is that these would be available in June or July. Titanium, if we decide to make it at launch, will come at the end of that. So we'll do the run in stainless steel and then go right into a smaller run of titanium while the machines are still set up, if that's what we choose to do. We may also choose to do titanium sometime in the distant future. It's worth noting, obviously, that the titanium will not include the safety bar. The safety bar must be 17.4 for this entire premise to work. And, you take my little, presenter hat off for a second. And I'm just excited about this one, guys. Like, just the nerd in me. I mean, magnets are so damn cool. It's just finally I get to make something with magnets. And I've been playing with this concept for a while and just seeing how well it works. Look how strong that is. That magnet, like I'm smacking this thing and the magnet, it just doesn't move. It's just very reassuring. But at the same time, it also comes off with just like the tiniest little flick. It self-aligns beautifully. You can get stuck there, I guess, if you really try. But as soon as you get it into the body, boom, it pops right in. And it's just kind of foolproof. It's somewhat rare that these little ideas in my head just work perfectly. And this is one of those times where as soon as we got it machined, it's just like, oh, damn, that works really well. And we've done all the math. Is the magnet strong enough, even though it's that tiny? And it is. It's just a delight. I'm just excited about it. These little things make me really giddy, these little mechanism stuff, as you know, kind of with the Osprey. So yeah, I mean, part of this is I just love playing with magnets, but there's true function here. This is not just innovation just for the sake of innovation. This is innovation to bring you guys a better product. And I wouldn't do this if I didn't believe that was true. As much as it would pain me to throw away my cool little magnet idea, I would if it didn't make the razor better. And I am sure it does make the razor better. And so for that reason, I am just thrilled. And I'm excited to share more updates with you over the next few weeks and to get you guys the brand new Saber. And so I hope you all will leave your feedback. I know you will. Share this around because the reality is gem razors aren't as popular as they should be. For us to continue making this product and to make it in different materials, maybe in different finishes, we need the demand to increase. And so I'm hoping that you guys will do a little work for us and share this video around, share your thoughts. We want more people to see it. We want to hear feedback. Should we make it in titanium? And yeah, guys, I'm excited. So new Saber coming this summer. Talk soon. Thanks.